You to the Etowah Football Show with Coach Ryan Locke. I'm Jeff Underwood, and on my right and to your left is the heartthrob of Etowah, J-Dub White.
I would say I'm more like the Family Dollar of Etowah.
You didn't know they called him that, Coach Locke, the heartthrob.
There's some questions I just don't ask.
I really feel like Coach and I's relationship is growing.
It is.
We're trying to build something here.
He talks to you in more than one sentence now.
He
I
does.
I like it.
You gave me nothing at first. It was great. It was so
he's got to study you, man.
Well, that's what happens with high intellect people.
That's right.
You're always thinking about what you're going to say, and his first thought was, "Who is this fat, loud white man in the office?"
Well, my mom always taught me it's better just to not say some things sometimes if it might not come out right.
Hey, Ms. Locke, thank you for teaching that lesson. Yeah. Hey, this is the Etowah Football Show here with Coach Ryan Locke. And Coach, every other message for the whole week was people talking about how awesome it was for the grace that was shown and to the Milligan family. And Lydia's, they text me they're watching. So thank you so much for you and your wife for that.
We appreciate them coming on. Our hearts and prayers are with Lydia and her family and the Millikins. And last week was awesome from the standpoint of what she's going through is absolutely tragic. But what she's been able to do with her story and inspiring countless people with it is really remarkable, and the outpour and affection for them is really great to see as well. Since we're on that topic, Friday after the show, and Coach Monroe from Asheville probably doesn't even want me telling this, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell it anyway. He gave me a phone call and said that the following day, last Friday, the people at Asheville High School had a fundraiser, and they raised some $200
That's
for
incredible.
The Milliken family, and that shows you right there. This thing supersedes football. It supersedes sports. This is a thing about life, and we're at the end of the day, we're all on one team. We're all on Team Lydia, regardless of whether you're at Etowah, Asheville, or wherever you're at. This childhood cancer is a terrible, terrible thing, and we want if anything we can do can help raise awareness for that. We're all for it. We're all for it.
No, I want you to talk about this just for a second. I've heard your lovely wife speak of this a couple times, yourself. The community of Etowah is just different. It's just special. And that's what high school football is, the Asheville's, the Etowahs. Mm-hmm. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, small town Alabama is high school football. High school football thrives in those communities. I grew up in a town very similar to that. My wife grew up in a town very similar to that. This is one of those communities where everything just shuts down on Friday night. If you want to rob a place, it'd be a good time to go do that on Friday night.
But he's not saying do that. Don't do that.
This is that type of community. Everybody, wherever you go, you see blue. You see the pitchfork out there. You see the Etowah E. People show up for Etowah football. They show up for Etowah in general, whether it's basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball. The people here love and support these young people who wear the blue and the silver and the white and have that Etowah E on it. This is a great community and great support system for the young people of Etowah.
No doubt.
Talk a little bit about the game with Asheville last week. Some great things happened. Mm-hmm. Some teachable moments happened as well.
Absolutely. Well, we thought the defense played outstanding all night, a shutout. You can't ask more than that. They played outstanding. I thought special teams was huge. We kicked a field goal. Juju made all his extra points. We blocked 4 punts. Recovered one for a touchdown. Another one, I believe, led to another touchdown. That was huge. Offensively, we had some bright spots. We sputtered at times. Trace was a little off at times. But, again, as you said, teachable moments that we can come back to and correct. I thought it started off, we drove down, thought we were going to have a chance to score, and we ended up having to kick a field goal. And then we had a block punt. We recovered for a touchdown. Then we came back and Trent popped a 3rd and 1 for we called a power play on 3rd and 1, and he busted one right off right tackle for a touchdown. Then came back to end the half. We were up 17-0, and we actually had a few negative plays, and we ended up being 4th and goal from 15, and ended up scoring on a screenplay to Trent. So, some well-executed plays there. Again, some issues in execution that we need to correct going into this next game. But we'll talk about Fort Payne later. But certainly some teachable moments that came out of it. But always good to win, and it was a happy homecoming for everybody.
It was homecoming. We talked about that last week, and the distractions that can go along with that. I think they handled it pretty well.
Well, it's the most unique homecoming I've ever been a part of. There was no parade. The only thing that really affected us was we had to get off the field about 10 minutes earlier than what we normally do for the homecoming court. But outside of that, it was a very unique homecoming in that there wasn't a large. Of course, with the COVID issue now, we couldn't have a large pep rally. We couldn't have the parade, which we hate. Hopefully, we can get back to that next year. But from a logistical standpoint, coaching standpoint, it was probably one of the easiest homecomings I'll ever have as a coach.
Probably right.
Yeah, they love our homecomings here in Etowah, Coach. Hey, take us to halftime. Give us a coach. I've not experienced a Coach Lock halftime. We have our own halftime, so I'm not going to benefit from that. So, what is a Coach Lock halftime?
Well, first of all, you come in, you try to make sure the kids are settled down and focused on the fact that there's still another half of football to play. And then you get offensive staff gets together, defensive staff gets together, go over what needs to be discussed, any adjustments that might need to be made on either side of the ball in the kicking game. And then, of course, we have a number of players that are having to play both ways. So one side of the ball will take the majority of the time to begin with, and then the other side will come in on the back end of it to make whatever adjustments. Mainly we want them to get in, settle down, get something in their system. We usually have a Nutrigrain bar in there for them to get a hold of, along with a bottle of Gatorade. And from there we're able to just split up and go into your defensive adjustments and then your offensive adjustments.
And Northeast Orthopedic, man, you guys are lucky to have such a organization like that. And talk about your trainer a little bit.
Very blessed. Sam Benson is our trainer. This is his first year.
Yeah.
Blake Rivette was our trainer for a number of years, and now he's moved on. They opened up a Neo in Center, Alabama, which is right close to where Blake lives. So he has taken a job there, and we're very fortunate to have Sam Benson as our trainer. He is very astute in the sports medicine field. Does a great job communicating with the kids. He's there every day at practice. He's always available for the players to communicate with if something's going on, and we're very blessed to have a NEO partnership. I can tell you as a coach, that is a huge relief. There's so many issues medically that he's able to take care of on the front end and head them off.
Oh yeah,
does a great job of communicating with us as a staff in terms of who's injured, how severe the injury may be, and whether they'll be game ready, whether they won't be game ready, what they'll need to have done. Unfortunately, in a contact sport, you're going to have some injuries that take place, and at times surgery will be required. Our friends at NEO do a great job of preparing them for that and getting back to us in a timely manner what those situations are. So we're very fortunate that Northeast Orthopedic is partnered with us.
No doubt.
The heat that you guys play in at the first part of the year is very important to have.
Absolutely.
He has had to work double duty.
Absolutely. And with the COVID-19 restrictions nowadays, there are restrictions now on how we can get water in practice. So we've had to make a few adjustments on how water is distributed throughout practice. We've had to make sure that water breaks were scheduled in. We have a huge, I call it a huge cow, right. But we have a huge.
Why did you look at me when you said that?
We have a huge water cow. We have a huge tub where we pour water in, and it can squirt out water to the players.
Yeah.
Sam is the only person allowed to touch that, and he actually squirts the water in their mouth, so everybody's not grabbing the squirt the squirt part of it, and so we're not passing around germs or anything like that. So we're trying our best to stay within the COVID-19 restrictions, but also making sure that our players are hydrated in this Alabama heat.
We'll talk a little. Oh, go ahead.
I would just say coaches too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys are in the heat as well.
Absolutely. Coach needs to get over there and get his water every now and then.
Go ahead, Jay.
Hey, well, I was watching day before yesterday. You guys had an incredible practice. I kind of pulled up in the truck, pulled the windows down, listening, and watching the coaches out there. They're working their tail off. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, your prep for the upcoming game against Fort Payne in just a moment. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your players of the week?
Two players of the week this week, and again, this was huge in the special teams area. Cale O'Brien blocked several punts. I even lost count how many Cale blocked. He blocked quite a few. And then we had Ethan Foster. Ethan blocked the first punt of the night and actually recovered it for a touchdown. So I was really happy for Ethan, really happy for Cale. It was one of those things. Coach Bone, I need to give Coach Bone a lot of credit on this. He spends a lot of time trying to dissect the opponent's punt team to find out where we might be able to get through and get a block. And this is the first time we actually had that ability, or we had that opportunity to do that, and it was like the floodgates opened. And I think they found out that if they just trust the process and do the little things that they're supposed to do and do their job, things can work out the right way. So I'm really happy for both Cale and Ethan. So I'm gonna get out of the way and let y'all talk to them a little bit.
Thanks, Ethan, grab a seat right there, and you'll slide with you. Got to share that microphone. So, Cale, start with you. I heard your dad said that you blocked these punts, but you did them with your eyes closed. So, any truth to that?
My eyes closed.
Right here, bro.
My eyes closed. Kinda. Sometimes I don't use. I put my head down. But I think I kind of saw. I kind of saw what I was doing.
Yeah. Introduce yourself, the position you play, and what class you're in.
I'm Keller Bryant. I play bandit and outside linebacker, class of 2022.
All right, Ethan.
My name is Ethan Foster. I play DB at running back, class of 2021.
Man, yeah, this may be the best group of special teams plays we've ever had, man, and a lot of effort. Before we give you the awards, talk about what it means to play special teams.
Oh, it's fun.
Into the microphone. Come on, man. I'm gonna call your mom.
It's fun for sure. It's awesome. Just go out there and try to get the ball, try to block it, hit somebody.
What about you, Ethan? Because you're so versatile. I mean, you play. I would never take you off the field. I don't care if you're tired or not.
Oh yeah, it's fun playing special teams. When special teams, they don't get enough credit really, but it's really important. Block a punt, you score a touchdown, that could change the whole game for you.
Yeah, and I know you're going after scholarships, right, as everyone is, and you've been blessed to receive some offers. This has to boost you for colleges looking at you. Hey, this kid does a lot of things. Talk about that.
Oh yes, sir. It's gonna look good on film.
It does look good on film. Go ahead, Jeff.
Cale, your dad talks a lot about your ethics, your work ethic. He says you're passionate about anything that you're playing. Baseball, obviously, we've watched you play last year a lot. But tell us a little bit where that passion comes from. Why are you such a go-getter when it comes to football,
baseball? It started when I was little. My dad always pushed me, and he's always just made me get after it. And I don't know.
You can't be an O'Brien and not be passionate, because your dad is one of the most fired up people I think I've ever met. So, same question, Ethan. I mean, you're out there going, what is the word? Ham. You're going crazy every play. You're all over the place, and you guys both are flipping the field for Etowah. That's important in special teams. You're blocking punts. You're knocking things down. You're making tackles like you're supposed to. But tell us a little bit what causes you to be so passionate about special teams.
It's just being able to be on the field and make big plays for the team, being able to contribute, whether that's special team or defense, anywhere they need me to go, I go for our team.
And you're always smiling. Makes me sick. Such good-looking kids. Hey, I want to tell a story. First time I met this kid, I said it before, lived next door to his uncle Caleb, you know very, very well. I go outside of my carport and I see, who's the kid standing on the roof next door? Gotta be 4 or 5 years old, the kid standing on the roof next door. I call his uncle, they said, it's just Caleb, he's okay. So, hey, without further ado, man, we want to thank you to Wills Creek Golf Course for coming up and sponsoring these awards. They could not be more proud We'll probably try to get you guys some free golf too. We're gonna video that too. So the first one is going to go to Mr. Ethan Foster. Hey, you guys get some love for Ethan. And Swedes does an amazing job. Thank you, Swedes, for all you do. Amazing job with these. Again, Wills Creek Golf Course. This one is 3 blocked punts, probably about 12. I'll have to hear your dad talk about it, but there he is.
Thank you.
Give us some love, man. Oh, Brian. Man, before we get out here, senior. So what is it being your senior season that's and where you guys are? Perfect in the region so far. You step out of region, but a dub's a dub.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's good. We didn't play the best. We didn't play to our best ability. It's always more work to be done. And, Coach Locke, stressing that. He's like, a win is a win, but we didn't play to our full potential.
That's outstanding. I know both of you guys are very passionate about not just winning, but doing things the right way. Talk a little bit about that, Kel, about the weight room, about the running, the extra stuff, about doing the right things and being leaders.
It's really important to do the right thing because it all shows on the field.
Yeah,
It all
no
shows
doubt.
on the field what you're doing.
Awesome.
Doing the right thing.
So your favorite Coach Locke impersonation? No, I'm just kidding. I ain't trying to get y'all in trouble. Hey, y'all give it up to these 2 kids. Thank you so much, man. Congratulations. Well deserved. Well deserved.
Coach Kamin is going to introduce our special guest today. How do you? Here's what I want to know. And I've been around Etowah now, I guess, several years now. Where did we get the caliber of kids from? Because I've been around programs. Those who watch know which ones I've been around. That the caliber of kids are just not like you're seeing in Etowah. Where does that come from?
Well,
Coach?
I wish I had the magic sauce for that, because if I had that answer, it probably would have been a little different at several other coaches' times. I mean, you have to give credit first of all. I'm a big believer in this, and that children are byproducts of their home and where they come from, and we've got tough kids here, and I think it's because their moms and dads have raised them the right way. They've raised them in a disciplined household, and they taught them right from wrong. They're in the process, because they're still children. You're trying to teach them right from wrong, and we've got some tough kids here. I think I'm a big believer that winning breeds winning and success breeds success, and they've been successful here at Etowah for a long time, and a lot of the kids that we have on our team played back in the 1990s, and during those great years when Coach Farmer was here and Coach Townsend was here, and success breeds success, and once you learn how to win, you have that feeling and that taste in your mouth, and you want the younger generation to be able to experience that as well. So,
but you think about that. You can bring the best coach in the world and best staff in the world to any high school, and if you don't have that in caliber kids coming on, moldable kids, teachable kids, athletic kids, obviously, but kids of good character. It don't matter what kind of coaching staff you have.
Absolutely.
And,
well, good players make good coaches. Make no mistake about that.
That's right.
I've been a bad coach many times. Good coaches are byproducts of what you have on the field, and I'm fortunate that we've got some really good kids here. We've got some really good kids that just happen to be good football players along with it. So we're very proud of the work they're doing, and we're not always perfect, but we're striving. We're doing our best to make sure that we get them going in the right direction.
You guys are doing a great job, that's for sure.
Coach, you also have good coaches, and you're about to bring one up.
We have really good coaches, and I've always been excited about our staff ever since the season began. This one was another one that, like Coach Dupree, we were able to get him shortly after I got hired, and he's no stranger to Etowah. He's been around he played for the Blue Devils back in the day, and was a really, really good defensive lineman. Looks like he can still play a little defensive lineman. I think at times we probably need to put some pads on Coach Booker and let him go out and play again, but to try to sneak him back on the field. But we're excited to have Brandon Booker as a part of our staff. I know he was away for a couple of years, but we're excited to have him back, and has done a great job coaching our defensive front. And if anybody's been to our game, they know one of the strengths of our football team has been the play of our defensive line. So really excited to have Coach Booker back, and I'm going to get out of the way and let him talk a little bit.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach, go ahead and just get the microphone ready. So the time you were away, we call that the dark ages here at Etowah and Tyler, you know. So welcome back, man.
I'm glad to be back.
Glad to be home. I know you are.
Glad. I'm happy to be back home.
So you've coached some very talented kids in your coaching tenure over the years. How do you rate this group as a unit, defensive line, to some of your past groups? You've had some good groups.
Yes, this group is very competitive. They would challenge each other, and they like when we go one-on-ones, they want to go against each other. So you got Hit want to go against Bennett, you got Jacob want to go against Toby. So everybody's working for the same goal and the same purpose. So they know for a fact once we line up on Friday night that this guy's going to do his role, and you got my back that I'm going to do mine.
And you played with some outstanding players in your day too. So how is it that you can, hey, these guys watched your film. They see it's out there. They see the things you did. Some of it you can teach, some of it you can't. Talk about how important that is to say, hey, I've done this. I know this works. Here's the little tricks of the trade of being a defensive lineman.
It's just getting on the same level. Everybody understanding what we're doing here and them knowing that I want them to improve their skill set. And we're going to work together because just because I'm the D-line coach, we're still a partnership.
Yeah.
They make me a good defensive line coach. And you know, we'll keep going working with each other. And we work hard together and we push each other. Yeah. So, as long as we're on the same level, the same wavelength, they want to get better. I'm a coach with everything I got. They're going to play with everything they got, and we're going to be a family.
Yeah.
So.
And one thing, watching the defensive line, the push, the penetration that they're getting, it seems like every week they're getting stronger, they're getting better, they're quick off the line, they're beating their blockers.
Yes,
How do you coach that?
That's the good part about working with the guys I have. I just tell them that and they push each other. They want to be better. Like this tomorrow night, they'll want to do better tomorrow night than they did last week. So each week, each day, from Monday to Thursday, they're pushing each other to be the best player they can be at their spot in their role, doing whatever it takes for our defensive front to be successful. So you got silent leaders like those guys. I love it. So they make my job a lot easier. No more than Coach P and Coach Dupree and Coach Bone do. Those are the moving parts of our defense. It's Coach Bone and Coach P and Dupree. I got 4, 5, 6 guys who's going to go out there and lay it all out on the line, and I love it. I can't ask for nothing more.
That's one thing Jerry and I talk about in the booth. We watch you coaching, the fun that you have when you're coaching.
Yes,
obviously, you're passionate about football. You're excellent as a coach. We're great as a player. But to see that you get excited and to your coaching kids as they're coming off the field,
yes,
but you're also celebrating those kids. To us, that's huge. That's incredible. Yeah. And so that speaks a lot about your character. Is watching you. My son come home and he says, "Dad, Coach Booker's so funny." So that's a good credit to you, and we're thankful to have people like you that just love the kids.
I appreciate it. That's one of the things we talked about. I said I'm passionate about being a Blue Devil. I'm very passionate about the defense line. I take great pride in it. So take pride in everything you do, from tying your shoes to playing the game. Take pride in everything you do. And that's what my guys do, and I love and appreciate it. That's awesome.
Give us a sneak peek of the young guys who maybe not even be getting into varsity games yet. Who are some of the guys that in a few years you're going to say, I told you they were the ones?
If he keeps staying on the track he is right now, I think Dylan Horton will be a great one. Jaleel. You got J. Poo. He's coming off the leg injury, so he texted me today. As a matter of fact, said I'm cleared, Coach. I start there for next week. So that'll be another great young guy. But there's so many of those young guys who I don't want to disrespect all of them because I can't remember all the guys' names. But just about every young guy we have on the offensive side as defensive side, those guys are hungry, and they're watching those guys right now and know what it takes to be successful, and they want to carry that tradition on of being tough and physical front.
And next year, you really look at Bennett and you really look at Jacob. They're going to be seniors, going to be their times. But I mean, when you got the kid and Hitman, right? Hitman's coming back too, so Hitman's the truth. But Toby is a quiet leader.
Man, Toby is scary quiet. That's why I told him, like, we'll talk after every series. Be like, Coach, I thought I did this. I could have done this better. I said, hey, you could, but hey. That guy over there, he saw you working, so he gave everything he got and had your back. So they're gonna make each other right. And Toby is definitely something special. Man, all those guys have different talents, but they all make each other better because they all work together and have something different and makes each other strong and pull. And Toby's the focus point of that front.
No doubt.
As far as being a leader.
Got a lot of folks watching on Facebook that are commenting. They're talking about the big running back that Fort Payne has. I think he had an injury last week, maybe back this week. How do you coach your guys up for the opposition when you're going in, a small back, quick, or a big back? He's a heavy runner. You know,
when it's a big physical back like this guy, tell him to break down. You know, if it's athletic, we want to break down. Once we get about 5 yards in front of him, keep our feet chopping, so he can give us that dead leg, keep us going left to right. Big back like that, we want him to stop. We want him to stop and cut back, and that's what we come in and clean it up. And so we're going to attack him from the waist down. You know, no back whatsoever, likes getting hit in the legs.
That's right.
So if you wear that right thigh out and wear that left thigh out, eventually that one good shot, I'm like, Coach, I think I've had enough for the night.
That's right.
I've had enough.
All of a sudden, the hamstring feeling a little.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little tight.
Cramp. We got a cramp.
Yeah, I want to talk about and Jeff's always trying to talk X's and O's, man, so I try to get him to save that for Friday night. I want to talk about what we're calling the number 1 draft pick situation, where we got you came home, right? Kendrick came the year before, and Dupree.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
other schools wasn't happy about that, Coach. I said God's favor ain't fair.
That's just something they have to swallow. That blue pride, it's something about being a Blue Devil. I feel like, me personally, every athlete, be it male or female, if you got an opportunity to come back home and coach, you're going to fly. You're going to take that opportunity. So I had 6'12", Coach Cook, Unc D, you know, Randy, and Coach P, and nephew, Coach Colgrove. You know, we talked, and it's just something I can't pass up. And when the Warren was on board with it, we had to go with it.
Talk about that, man.
Yeah, we had to.
She is. We're just now getting to know her and really get to know you again. And every good coach I know, case in point, you know, Coach Locke and his wife, or we know what she does. You guys have a strong female at your house.
Yes, sir. I think that's outside of the military and special forces and all that stuff, like the firemen and, you know, coach's spouse, strongest individuals you can come across.
Yeah.
Cause it's more than just, when you're passionate about it, it's 24/7, 365, and so you always know that. Yes, I'm passionate about it, but I'm always gonna come home and love you even more.
But here's what I'm saying. I know you're a bad dude, man, but my money's on her. So break out.
Yeah.
Coach Booker.
She'll move some fun. She'll move some fun.
You got a lot of folks, a lot of fans, a lot of people talking to you right now on Facebook. They're proud to have Coach Booker back. Go Book. Chance and Enzi, your sister, says she's a proud little sister. So
get those brownie points. I appreciate it. Love you too.
But you are loved, and it's not just by the community. Your reputation precedes you. Your kids love you. They do. All of them, not just your D-line. All those kids love you, and you're a great example and the character of a man that I'm thankful that my kids get to see. And you can't say that a whole lot when it comes to
That's true.
You really can't.
I mean, well, you got to take Coach Pearson away from the coaching group, right?
Everybody I'm not saying nothing on Coach Pearson.
That's my dude, but he knows I love him.
I
we
just
go
control
way
all
back.
the league. That out.
No, you know, it's a special group, you know, and you do have a special group of kids you're coaching, but the coaching unit as a whole, very special group.
Yeah.
That's the best part about coming back home. I didn't know Coach Ray that well. I didn't know Coach Locke that well, but Coach Bone either. But shoot, we jail.
Yeah.
We all jail. I mean, it's like if we go out, we set our game plans together. We're gonna go hard at each other at practice, make each other better. But after practice, we're like, hey, I think y'all may have got us today, but tomorrow, y'all better strap them on. You know, so I love it.
So the kids are seeing that, right? The kids are seeing the coaches being competitive and wanting to win, all for a common goal. Let's talk region play for a second. 3-0 in the region. That's huge. It's all about region championships. Stepping away from region play, though, what's your mindset? Obviously, we want to win every game we play, but what's the mindset? Does it change at all?
For me, no. I think right now, with this being a non-region game, it's in the middle of the season. Some people tend to look ahead, and you try to set the tone for how you want to end the season and try to get an idea of where you may be seated. So I think just for us, just keep that momentum going. Just keep that momentum and don't take every down for granted. Just keep going after it. And at the end of the day, we want to go to hold that state championship trophy. So it doesn't matter if it's region, non-region. You're gonna line up across from me. Blue Devils want that win.
I think it's something about attitude going in. Okay, yes, we're 4A right now.
Yes.
We're going in against a 6A team, 2-2, big kids, physical, some athletes there.
Yes,
I think you got something to prove going with a chip on your shoulder.
They can only play with 11.
That's right. That's right.
So we're good to go.
Coach, anything, any parting shots or any hellos or what's going on? You better say something about your beautiful wife over there. Coach, the microphone's yours.
I just want to thank everybody from LA. I love being back home, and I appreciate all the love and everything from me and my wife, Warren. Love you too. So I just thank for all of it. Hey, let's go, LA.
Do it, man. Coach, thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. Good luck.
so much.
Look forward to having you on again.
Yes, sir.
Coach Locke, come on back in here.
A lot of folks saying that Bozo Moon called us back. We played for him at Southside.
Yeah.
Got a lot of love. He's very, very well loved.
Man, again, just you're loaded with great personalities, Coach.
Really are.
We have a very, very experienced coaching staff. Good teachers of the game, good teachers for the young men to be around. At the end of the day, we're trying to mold young people into becoming young men. So we've got some really, really good coaches on our staff, and Coach Booker is one of those.
That's so funny. John said the same thing about you last year when he was talking about his staff, you in particular, about being a true teacher of not just the offensive line, but a true teacher of the game of football.
Well, one of my things when I interviewed for the job was I wanted to emphasize teaching the kids football. Not just coaching them. During the week we have to coach a certain. You have to coach your scheme up against a certain defense or against a certain offense and all that. But we really want to start trying to implement teaching the kids the game. A lot of these kids, they feel that they play Madden on the Xbox and they feel that that's football. Well, it's not really football. You don't always get to press that button and juke somebody and all that. So you have to learn the fundamentals of the game. But you also have to learn down and distance situations, and that just, the more you learn about the game, the better the football player you're going to be. But on top of that, we want to teach them life lessons in football as well.
Yeah.
And so, in my experience, there's no better teacher for the game of life when it comes to athletics than football, because of all the hardships that you have to go through. Think of all the practice time we get, and you only get to play 10 games during the regular season.
Yeah.
At most this year we'll play, if things go right, we'll play 14 games. But that's if things go right. But all the practice time that goes into that, leading up to the games, to only have 3 hours a week of competition is pretty. That's a lot of time that you spend investing and teaching and trying to mold and trying to develop your craft.
Well, my son, and it's no secret, he's brand new. He's never played football in his life. I told him, if you want to start 7th grade. I want him to play. Both of my boys. But I let him do what they want. And he had a down moment where he was like, I can't do this. I cannot do it. And he felt so comfortable with being able to walk in your door. And I love the fact he said, Dad, I'm done. I'm quitting. And of course, that's not in my game. It's not what I do. And he went in and sat down with you.
Right.
And he came back out. He said, I'm gonna give it a couple weeks. I think the next week said something to you. You said, give me a couple more weeks.
Right.
And now, 2 weeks or a week ago, he said, Dad, I sure am glad. I didn't.
Well, I like that, because it's hard when you're young in this sport, because high school football is really made for seniors and juniors. Not saying sophomores can't play. We have sophomores that play, and we have freshmen that can play. But really, the game is made for your seniors and juniors. You have junior varsity for your sophomores and freshmen, and it's a development time for them. This isn't it's a sport where if you're athletic enough, you can play. We're going to play the best players that give us a chance to be successful. But there's also something to be said about developing yourself as an athlete, developing yourself as a person, developing yourself as an individual, developing your ability to become a better football player. And you do that through the weight room. You do that through meetings, paying attention in meetings and learning the game. You do that with developing your skill set on the field. And that's one of the things that I like about our staff. We're developing young people. Obviously, we have some talented seniors and juniors, but we're trying to develop this younger crew as well. We have a JV game coming up Monday night at Albertville, so that'll be a chance for us to again help develop those players and those young players and developing their skill sets in a game.
I love it. I love, and I know we're going to get to a couple of other players we want to spotlight, but I love going to these JV games and watching not just you, but your whole coaching staff. They drive up, and then you got your starters. To last week at Lincoln to see Trace and Trent and some of these guys. motivating these JV guys, giving them water, talking to them, encouraging them. That's a huge deal in my book because, a lot of them can say, I'm just going to go home. I'm not feeling well, I'm tired. They didn't do that. You guys don't do that.
And they weren't told to do that. They did that on their own. So now I do have a rule. If you're on the sideline, you're going to work.
Yeah.
Trace found that out real
obvious.
quick.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
But he did a great job. Those kids need to be. Obviously, they need to be developed. They need to feel supported by our older players, and they certainly got that last week. Hopefully, we can have a better outcome this coming Monday against Albertville. But I do like what I see from our team overall, from the older helping the older kids helping the younger kids develop. That's really important.
Yeah, it's classy, and it shows true leadership.
No doubt.
Look, Trace, a sophomore, doing what he's doing. I love to see it. I was blown away. I guess, Coach, you've got a couple of guys you want to introduce and talk a little bit about.
We got senior spotlight this week. Will be a tight end, Brevin Knight, and then a cornerback, Keyshawn Hunter. So we're excited to have both of them here. Both of them are seniors, as I said, and Keyshawn came in. Come on, sit down. Came in, did not have a chance to play against Gaston City, but has started each game since and done a really good job. And Brevin Knight came in this year and is playing tight end and is developing his skill set as well. So I'm going to get out of the way and let y'all talk to them.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Coming down, Brevin. Welcome, guys. Thanks for taking time to be with us, man. We appreciate it. So,
yes, y'all do have to talk.
Into this microphone right here. Talk loud. First of all, Brevin, I'm much appreciated to your mom for making sure my grill always looks good. So she takes care of me, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I know your mom is huge in for you personally. Talk about what it means knowing she's out there supporting you.
It means everything to me. She's my drive. She pushes me to be my best in everything.
Yeah. What's it like for you, my man, being here? And once you're in that blue, man, that we don't care where you come from. You're Etowah from this day forward.
Yes, sir.
And man, we're proud. We enjoy calling the games and getting to see you fly around the field a little bit. What's been your best experience so far? And talk right into the microphone.
My best experience.
Our coach gonna make you run.
That's a good question right there. Best experience. Us playing together as a team and with good chemistry and all that.
Yeah. Brad, talk about the transition from playing quarterback last year and coming in. I know you want to play tight end. That's your position in the future. Talk about that big catch on the road against Fulton Dale you made.
Just doing my job. That's my favorite spot to play.
Yeah.
And I just love watching tight. My favorite player in the NFL is Evan Ingram. Yeah, I just love watching.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that one. Okay. Yeah, I like it.
One thing that impresses me, Brevin, about watching you is how you get out in front and you're blocking. Last week, you really showed out getting in front of your backs and freeing them up on the end. Is that a passion of yours? Obviously, catching the ball is, but I mean, you just took it to another level. I mean, you're always good out there, but this week, did you have something to prove? What was it this past week?
Well, after the Gaston City game, Coach Cook, I got in big trouble, and I was like, I just don't ever want to get in trouble again after that night.
I can relate. That's awesome.
All that week of practice, he had us going to the sled and stuff, and I had to go down there with him and individual stuff, and he taught me a lot.
Yeah, awesome. And you get to play. There's a lot of talent on this team. Talk about the competition during practice and how you guys really get after each other.
We got this thing called one-on-ones, and Ollie and them, right?
I do know them.
It's hard to guard them. It's hard, real hard. And then we be going crazy at one-on-one.
Yeah, and tell me how you act one-on-one against Ollie when you make a play.
I stand over him and I be like, "What's up?"
If I'm not mistaken, I was watching a little bit of that day before yesterday, and
something bad happened.
Well, it was good. You got to have passion out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, Brad, what's it like playing tight end, being as small as you are?
You're the reason we're sitting tonight, by the way.
Yeah, you're too tall. We got to bring the table in.
Graven, they're being sarcastic.
I was going to say.
Great way, Coach. Coach, to bring you up a little bit. Yeah, man, you're big fella. How do you use that size to your advantage? Leverage, blocks, those kind of things, or just going up and getting the football over somebody.
I guess because I don't know, like, just bigger, so I'm gonna jump as high. I'm already up there, and everybody else isn't up there. So.
That's right. He ain't up there, but I've seen him get up there.
That's right. What's your favorite position, Keyshawn? You like wide receiver better or defense? You're a defensive guy.
I like defense. I don't like to get hit.
You like to deliver the hits. I like it.
Who's your favorite NFL player?
Tyron Matthew.
Oh, you do like to talk. Okay, I can see that. What's your final thoughts on this coming season and with this big game against Fort Payne on the road in a very tough atmosphere? What's your thoughts going up there?
My thoughts is we gotta play hard and we gotta work together as a team. Our offense gotta improve and defense gotta keep playing how they've been playing the last few weeks.
Yeah, Brett?
The defense keep playing like they've been playing. The offense just come out of the gate strong, and we just finish the season well and go just play the best we can.
You had to go back and watch this. Your boys are lighting you up emoji-wise.
They're giving you a little bit on here.
Yeah, Briggs and the crew having at you. Hey guys, thanks for being with us.
Yes.
Continue success, continue hard work, and we look forward to talking to you later on this season.
Thank you,
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate
Can y'all
it.
give it up for these seniors tonight? You can always count on O'Brien to clap somebody up. Coach, they're so funny, man.
Well,
They're good kids.
They're good kids. They're good kids, and they play hard. And they've come in and filled some needed roles for us on the team. Still developing their craft as everybody is. So hopefully they can go out and have a big game this Friday night.
Well, let's talk about that. Jess, he can't wait to talk X's and O's. I want to talk a little bit about. I know you like history. Go figure, right? The history of this particular. It goes back. These two teams go back. First game 1924. It was DeKalb County High School back then, and we've been trying to get them back for that 40-0 loss ever since. We have won the last 5 in a row, but they're all very competitive. 28-17 score is the average of the past 5 years.
Well, I can't speak for the past 5 years or the history, but I can speak for last year. Last year was a very competitive football game.
Yeah.
An interesting football game because all of a sudden a big lightning storm showed up out of the middle of nowhere.
Yes, it did.
And we ended up having, I believe, 3 different weather delays, and we didn't finish the game till midnight. It was a very competitive game. Fort Payne is a very well-coached football program. Coach Elmore and his staff do a great job doing what they do. They don't try to be who they're not athletically. They're going to do what they do. They're going to play physical. They're going to play hard. They're not going to be out of position. And it's a game where you're going to have to play your best game to have a chance to go up there and win. We're going up there. That's always difficult going on the road. So we're going to have to be at our best. They return a lot of starters that played against us last year. The quarterback that played against us last year is much improved. They have a big running back who was a hoss and a load,
Yes.
and it was one of those deals last year where I'm standing on the sideline, and of course when I wasn't talking with the offensive line and trying to make blocking adjustments, I'd get up there and watch him run. I'm like, my goodness, that's looks like a defensive lineman running the football. But they're a very well coached football team. It's not a game where we're going to go in and out scheme them by any means. We're going to have to go in and play our best football game to have a chance to be successful.
Normally in high school football, you've coached collegiate as well. You stress special teams a lot, right? You guys, great special teams game last week. That's going to be a big part of your game this coming tomorrow night because of the leg and the distance. I mean, because that field is it's a whole lot smaller with the kicker that Fort Payne has.
No question. They have a kicker who can literally, I don't know if we'll return a kick this tomorrow night. He's allowed to kick it out the back of the end zone or kick it in the end zone every single time. They have a same individual. Anytime they get across the 50, anytime they get close to their 40, they're subjected to getting 3 points out of it because he has the type of leg that can do that. So that's a big weapon for them. Anytime you can get points in a game and you're assured of an opportunity to at least get 3 points anytime you cross the 50-yard line, that's a big deal. I remember I actually went and watched them when we played Gadsden, when they played Gadsden City, and we were off the week after our Gadsden City game, and they attempted a 62-yard field goal, and he came just short of it. And anytime they punt the ball, they have a tendency to, that ball's going to go way deep. Our returners are going to have to back up a good bit this week. So they certainly have an opportunity for big plays in the special teams with him. We have to try to negate that as much as possible. Our punt team is going to have to be on par for the field position battle as well, to be able to flip the field position battle. I think our punt team has played pretty well to this point. Our kickoff team is going to have to do a great job covering kicks and making sure that the ball is placed where it needs to be so that we can get down and cover and also stay in our lane and have good lane integrity. And then when we do have the chance, if we do have the chance to kick some extra points as field goals, we need to make those. We can't leave opportunities on the field in the special teams. So that's something that we're going to have to do our best to try to win that as much as possible.
Yeah.
And again, he kicked a 54-yarder last year against Gadsden City. Mm-hmm. The kid can kick, no question. But I wouldn't trade him for Juju. I'm all in on Juju.
Absolutely not. I love Juju. I love Ollie. Ollie stepped in and done a great job punting for us this year. I think, and they've been 2 surprises for us. Juju's one we literally found, I think, about 2 weeks into camp. We're excited about the development of those young men, and Ollie has showed us a skill set that we didn't know we had. That's been a great weapon for us as well.
So not going to the game plan, really, that's not what we're talking about here, but the fact that sophomore quarterback opened up more of the playbook each week and being able to actually game plan against certain teams that you may not have did exactly what you're going to do this week if we'd opened up week 1, week 2. Talk a little bit about opening the offense up and opening the defense up a little bit.
Well, you open the offense up to what you feel your quarterback is comfortable with.
Yeah.
And some of it, quite frankly, he's just going to have to get comfortable with it on the run and learn. So, Trace is doing a good job. He's learning the game as much as possible. He had a little lapse last week in terms of his footwork and his mechanics. We've done a lot of individual work this week to try to correct some of that. Also, our receivers running the right routes correctly. We've done a lot of work this week to try to clean that up as well. So, hopefully we're able to go out and execute to the best of our ability. That's all we can ask of them at the end of the day, is to go out and execute to the best of our ability. So in terms of opening up the offense, opening up the defense, we're going to open it up as much as we feel that our players are capable of handling. And in terms of the offense, that has a lot to do with what your quarterback is able to execute. So we're going to do as much as we can to try to help him out. And fortunate for him, he's got some pretty good players around him that all he's got to do, if he can execute and get the ball in their hands, they can do the rest.
And before I'm going to jump in and take your question for tonight. We'd have Ethan here tonight, of course. And so Ethan will be the starting tailback of most any other high school around here.
No question.
How big a benefit is that? You have Ethan back there. You got some young players that we see make some good plays. Of course, Trent does what he does. And, you can put Nana back there as well. Your backfield is blessed and versatile.
Well, we're fortunate to have some depth there, and we are fortunate to have some versatility there. So, it is nice knowing that, Trent doesn't have to carry it every single play. We can put somebody in to give him a spell if something were to happen.
Sure.
And we can get, and we have several options there. So, obviously Trent's going to get his carries as much as possible, and Ethan also does a great job on defense. And as you said, if Trent wasn't the starting running back, Ethan would be outstanding. He'd be one of the best running backs in this part of Alabama, no question about it. And we're blessed to have him. We're blessed to have Khalil Hughley has come along and started getting
Surprised
some
me a little
snaps.
bit, actually.
Yeah, he runs hard.
Yeah.
He's still learning. You've seen Josh Hendricks. We've seen Nana in the past get back there and do some good things. So, there's that opportunity as well. We're fortunate to have some flexibility in different moving parts that we can use.
No doubt.
One thing that spoke volumes to me last week is watching. Oh my gosh.
You watched them all, Jeff?
Yeah, I did. But watching your quarter. Oh my gosh, what's our quarterback's name?
Trace.
Trace
Thompson.
Really?
I was
You
talking
forget
about that.
Trace
No,
Thompson?
I had a block because I was thinking about something else, and you jacked my question up, so I appreciate that. But watching him this past week, there was a few drop passes, and he had every opportunity to drop his shoulders, drop his head, and get frustrated. But you guys did I saw when he come off the field, he was immediately grabbed by a coach, talked to, and he went back out there with a little bit of swagger, a little bit of attitude. He didn't seem to let that bother him as much as maybe week one. You know what I mean?
When you're young and you're put in the position that he's put into, you're going to make some mistakes, and that's just going to happen. Nobody's going to play a perfect game,
right.
And he's still learning on the run. Some mechanical footwork, some mechanics that we had to work on, as I mentioned. And at the end of the day, the receivers have to run the right route and catch the ball and help them out a little bit. So between those two things, we've worked a lot this week to try to improve it. Trace did do a good job trying to keep his confidence level up and going back out and attacking it and not slumping his shoulders and having the poor me attitude. He's done a good job of staying away from that. And in between series, we do our best to try to coach him up on the little things that can help him out.
Well, you guys do a great job of coaching these kids up, and that's one thing we had talked about before the start of the year. Jerry and I kind of just did a run through, and that's one thing I was worried about. When you have a young quarterback, obviously, as you know, they have a tendency when mistakes are made, they take it upon themselves. It's me, it's my fault.
Well, that's what good quarterbacks do. Good quarterbacks ultimately are responsible for the production of the offense, at least in most people's eyes.
Sure.
You're going to get the benefit and the praise when things go right, and then you're going to get the criticism when things go wrong. That's just part of the position. So I think he understands that. He's learning. He's handling it as best he can, and I think he's handling it as well as anybody could at this point in time. We came in. He came in with me this last Monday at 7 a.m. and we had a little individual film session before the team came in, and we could dissect the game. And I think he's learning. I think, as I mentioned, learning the game. There's no other position where you have to learn the game as well as the quarterback position. You have to learn. Obviously, you have to learn the routes. You have to learn to time up your footwork with the route, the depth of the route. You also, it's a pretty good idea if you're the quarterback to learn the protections.
You would think that's helpful, Coach.
So that's a part that on NCAA Madden you don't always have. Always have.
Yes.
But when it's your head on the line out there to speak, and your health on the line, you probably need to learn the protections as well. So he's learning that as well to try to make sure that our line is sliding the correct way, and then also it's a good idea to know what the run game is. Because we do some run pass option stuff to understand who his read is, and understand at times it's best just to hand the ball and not try to force anything.
Coach, I want to talk about one of the biggest fans we got in here tonight.
Yeah,
I didn't know RJ was going to make it in
I haven't
tonight.
seen him in a while. RJ's here, and we're glad to see RJ. I hadn't seen him since the
Wave
end of school.
RJ. There he is. There's the legend.
When I first came here the spring of 2019, I'm in the weight room, and of course Coach Holliday's has the workout going, and I'm technically observing at this time, and so I'm walking around and just seeing, and RJ's in there, and RJ's got his weight.
Yes, he does.
And he's working out with the team, and I tell you, he always brought a smile to your face. And I tell you, when our season ended last year against Centerpoint, I don't know if there was anybody as sad as RJ was. He was crying, and he wanted. He was excited to be out there in his football uniform every day, and so we're excited to see RJ back. My first time I've seen RJ since we got out for an early exit to the last school year.
And in case anyone forgot, that's 2 touchdowns RJ scored.
That's right.
Not one,
That's
that's 2. He was a baller,
I'm glad
son.
you brought that up. That was a great moment last year against Douglas. Thanks to Coach Wadley, who was at Douglas at the time, for working with us on that, and that was coming out of halftime, giving RJ the opportunity to have that. That was a great opportunity.
He's also the biggest Florida fan you're ever going to meet, Coach.
I
So don't
know,
hold that against him.
I know. We're working on that with him. He's a huge Tim Tebow fan too.
He is. But Mullins has him on speed dial, not the other way around.
My goodness.
That's how he is. Coach, anything we'll cut a couple minutes short here about bad weather. Anything in closing? Thanks to Jax, of
obviously,
course.
Thanks to Jax. Thanks to our sponsors. We've already mentioned Neo. We're getting to that. So we need everybody to show up tomorrow night at Fort Payne. Tickets are available on gofan.co, and also I've talked with Coach Elmore at Fort Payne. They, if you don't buy the tickets on GoFan, they do have tickets available, but you're going to have to use a debit or credit card with a kiosk. So no cash will be handled at all. So we need as many people to show up. We need you to wear white tomorrow. We're having white out, the Wildcats. We're going to be in our white uniforms. I'm probably going to regret that on Saturday when I'm up there having to do laundry. But we need everybody to show up and show their support for the Big Blue. We appreciate everybody showing up for homecoming, and we need everybody to travel up to Fort Payne. And let's, one of the great things when we traveled to Fultondale was I don't know if there was room at all on our side of the stadium.
It was incredible.
Packed. We need to pack out that Fort Payne side as socially distant as we can, of course. But we need everybody to wear your mask and show up to the game, and let's cheer on the Blue Devils.
Walmart has white ponchos. I've seen them. Go buy them out because you're gonna need them.
You got because you tell people in town to wear white, Coach. It's T-shirts and wife beaters. You got to specify what we wear.
That's what I was ordered to do.
Coach, again, thank you so much. We're enjoying these so much.
Well, once again, we appreciate you guys coming. We appreciate Kapow for being here and giving us this opportunity to spotlight these kids. Again, we appreciate Jax for allowing us to use this venue. This is hopefully something we can continue to do. Next week, I know we'll have another good show. We have a senior who's going to get to have it all to himself next week, and I believe we'll have a special guest next week if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe one. I got to check. I don't want to mention the name. I don't want to mess up and say the wrong name, but I'm pretty sure I know who it is. And he'll be excited to be here next week as well, and hopefully we've got some players of the game that'll come out and do a good job for us Friday night.
Yep, and again, thank you to Wills Creek Country Club for sponsoring these Player of the Week trophies. Swedes, you do an amazing job with those things, man. These kids love them.
They're very colorful, and I know the players appreciate them when they get them. It's a great. Anytime you can give the kids some more credit, that's always a good thing.
Yeah. Well, Coach, thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of it, Jerry. And obviously we love Etowah football, but it's great to have coaches and family around like you guys. And so we certainly appreciate that.
Actually, Etowah basketball is my favorite.
Yeah, but
Lil James paid me to say that.
It's just because his wife's your doctor.
That's true.
But thank you guys for joining us on Kapow, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night. Airtime for WGAD and Kapow Facebook is 6:30 sharp, the pregame show, and then the game, all the action will be brought to you. J-Dub White will be on the play-by-play at 7 o'clock.
God help us all.
It's going to be awesome. White out tomorrow night. Be there, or maybe Coach Locke will give you detention, something.
Bear crawl.